got it. Shalom, Baruch haba, welcome. Erev Tov, good evening. This is our advanced Hebrew class, and we're going through the prepositions, prepositional phrases. And so, last week we were going through, or the last time we met, we did not have class last week, but the last time we met a couple of weeks ago, we went over independent prepositions. An independent preposition is a preposition that stands as a word by itself. The inseparable preposition is a preposition that is attached to the word. So I'll put that up here. Inseparable preposition is attached to the noun. This is what makes it inseparable. That it is attached as a prefix. So it's attached to a noun, and it's attached as a prefix, and this is what makes it inseparable. All of this is what makes it inseparable. So it's attached to the noun, attached as a prefix, and then this automatically makes the noun the object of the preposition. So it is with the inseparable preposition, it is attached to the noun. It is attached as a prefix. Prefix means that it comes before the noun. It's attached at the beginning of the noun, at the front of the noun. So that it cannot stand alone. So these are examples of prepositions, inseparable prepositions. So you have a kaf, you have a beit, and you have a lamed. And the way they are written here, they're written here as inseparable prepositions. So you remember that we talked about the conjunction, the conjunctive vav. The conjunctive vav, when this comes as a prefix, when this is added to a noun or to a word as a prefix, so we'll go Shabbat, V'Shabbat. So everyone say V'Shabbat. So the V is the prefix. The V is the prefix. The Vav is the prefix. You know what Shabbat is, right? Yes. So you would read it, if I transliterated it, it would look like this. V Shabbat. So this is the prefix. And here the Vav is the conjunction. What does the conjunction do? Brings together. Okay? So what is the conjunction? And. So the Vav here means and Shabbat. V'Shabbat. And the Sabbath. And Shabbat. Okay? So this is what we're talking. We already discussed this a few months back. We already discussed the vav as a conjunction, as the word and. So putting that up as an example of the way the prefix works. So this is the way the prefix works. Notice that the prefix takes a shava. This mark here. Remember the shava from the vowels, which means what? You remember what the shava means? Short, cut off. Okay, so that's why there's no vowel under. There's no real vowel under the vav. It's just the vi. So all you would say was vi. Okay, there's no more sound than that. Vi shava. So say it again. Vi shava. Okay, so it's cut short. And this is telling you this is right here. You notice that in the transliteration, there's no vowel in between Shabbat, there's no vowel underneath, there's no vowel here. But just what? An apostrophe. We just put an apostrophe here because it's just the sound V Shabbat. So that means and Shabbat. Okay, everybody got this? See how that works? So the same thing works with these three letters. The kaf, the bet, and the lamed. It is important to note that the kaf and the bet have the dagesh in it. The kaf and the bet have the dagesh, which makes it hard. So it's not a chaf, it's a kaf. It's not a bet, it's a bet. It's hard. It's got the dagesh in it. So the sound of kaf is what? Say it? Kaf. Like a K. Kaf. The sound of bet is bet. And the sound of lamed? L. And these are inseparable prepositions. These three here. So the kaf means as or like. This is like that, not to like, not as like as in love, like, hate, that kind, not the emotion like, but like as in comparison. These are comparative, it's a comparative. So you could say that it's a comparative that is as cold as Alaska here. Okay, that's true. This week anyway. It's actually, excuse me, it's actually warmer in Alaska than it was in Anchorage than it was here. This last week. All right, so it's a comparative as cold as Alaska. So it's a comparative. You're comparing this to that. It's like this, like that. So that's the kaf. The bet is in, into, on, or by. It can be any of those prepositions. Now, to help with this one, remember the bait. What is the word related to bait? Okay, so what's the Hebrew word? Bayit. House. So you have the bait. Remember that the paleo is like the diagram of a tent, of a Bedouin tent. And you have the entranceway here, so you go in. Okay? So what do? You invite people to come in. You invite people to come in. Into your house. Into the house. Okay? We, in our beginners class, we talked about this. We spoke to this, that Abraham was considered to be one of the kindest men, one of the most merciful men. He was a chassid, a man of kindness. In that when people passed by, he always invited them in. In other words, they were out on the road. He would invite them to come in and get out of the sun, and he would offer them food and drink and things like this. So the rabbis tell us, the Chazal, the sages tell us that Avraham was a very kind, compassionate man, and he was always inviting people to come into his house or into his tent to get out of the sun. And so bait has the understanding of coming into something, basically coming into your house. But this is why the bait, when it is as a prefix, it's in or into, usually in or into. It can be on or by, but generally it's going to be translated here. Notice that it has the Shiva, notice that it has the Shiva, notice it has the Dagesh, notice it has the Dagesh. Lamed doesn't have a Dagesh, but it does have the Shiva. Lamed means two. Toward and for. So you would use the lamed when you're saying that he went to the store. He went to the house. So ba, hu ba, lebayit, lebayit. Okay. So toward, to or toward. It is also the preposition for. In older English, you would hear, they would say things like that he went for to go to the store would be the whole way that it would be placed in Elizabethan English. That he was going, he went for to go. So that's why you have this combination in here. Because we have basically dropped what we would consider to be the excess preposition, right? And so we dropped it and we just say that he's going to go to the store. Also, to go to, because this is this. This comes from this, toward, to go in the direction of. Trying to think to Anyway, okay, so we'll leave that there. All right, let's give you some examples. Okay, so we have let's see, where was it? Okay, so you need to find out, you need to try the word. Right here? Everybody got the word?
I think so.
You think so? Alright, try it.
Makom.
Makom. Very good. Everyone say makom.
Makom.
Makom. Okay? Mem, kuf, vav, mem. Makom. Okay? This is actually, there's no vowel. Correct? There's no vowel. So this becomes the vowel. Makom. So give it to me.
Mem. En. Kuf.
Kuf. Which basically would be a Q.
And then it turns into O. And then that men.
Makom. 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 And makom means place. Makom means place. So, let's do that. And now what? Bimakom. Remember that the Shabbat means what?
It's hot.
Okay, it's cut off, there's no sound. So it's just bit. Bimakom. Bimakom, which means in place or in a place.
Question.
Yes.
On that one, wouldn't it be a beat, a base instead of a base?
We'll get into that. Probably not tonight. Or Kimakom. Kimakom. Meaning
As place.
as a place, like a place. Or we can go like that. Take a very good lamed. We can go like that, still not a good lamed, but anyway. Lemakom, to a place. How you doing? Good. Just explaining, these are our inseparables. Basically, they're just they're prefixes, they're prepositions that are prefixes. They're attached to a noun. The reason why they're called inseparables is because as a single letter. They don't stand alone, like our independents that we talked about the last time. These do not stand alone. They must have something that follows them. They must have, and what follows them is a noun. What did I give you all? What was the first note? Sure.
Huh?
What was the first note?
The first note?
Yeah, under your notes tonight.
The inseparable.
Yeah.
We're talking about the prefixes, like we did the Shabbat,
Okay, but my first note's on the inseparable.
inseparable prepositions, that it's attached to the noun
Okay,
and that it's attached as a prefix.
okay, it's attached as a prefix. It's attached to a noun.
And that is automatically.
Automatically, yeah.
And the noun, the object of the preposition.
Okay, so it's attached as a prefix, it's attached to a noun, and that noun automatically becomes the object of the preposition. And then these are the three inseparables, the kaf, the beit, and the lamed. The kaf and the beit both have the dagesh, and they all, as a prefix, they all have the shava. They won't have the shava in the middle. So what we have done here, this is a noun called makom. Makom means a place. And so we just attached the kaf, the beit in a place, the kaf like a place, the lamed to a place. Okay, so what if, okay, so we had a word over here. Watch this. So we were talking about this word vayi. So how would you say to go into the house? Go into the house, you tell your child. Go into the house. So how would you do that? Remembering your rules. Okay, so say it again.
Because it'd be into, it would be the bait.
Right?
So then it would be the bait and two dots.
So tell me now. Where now?
Bait and then apostrophe. The two dots.
Shabbat.
The Shabbat with the dagesh.
Good. Now what?
And then you put the ba'i. So would you put another bit?
Well, you tell me.
Yes.
So it's another bait
Another bit.
for ba'i,
Or
right?
does it turn into a V?
Very good. Is that what you were telling me, Josh?
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
what he was doing.
All right. So you don't put the dagesh in the second one. Vayi. Yes, it becomes a V.
You're so much.
Okay. So be vayit. Okay? You can't put the dagesh in there because if it's a labial, you cannot have it the heart and the heart. You're not supposed to have the heart and the heart side by side. All right. So in this case, what the first bait takes the dagesh. The second bait drops the dagesh, so that it's not bebayit, but bevayit. Okay, so everybody, bevayit. Say it again. Bevayit. Be, cut off. Now the bait becomes a veit. Va, yit. Be, va, yit. Be, vayit. Bevayit. Very good, Evie. Evie.
What happens when you try to move?
Yes. I get my vowels mixed up. Okay, so now you have bevayit. And bevayit means
into the house.
in or into
On the house, by the house.
a house. Okay? We have cool stuff that takes place. Remember that if it does not have this, remember if it does not have this, this is what? What is the called?
Hey.
Yes, but what is the called? What is prepositions? Huh? Definite article. Okay, so it is the, ha means the definite article. Bayit. So the house, ha bayit, the house. Notice here, bevayit. So what?
It's a house.
A house. There is no definite article. Okay, there is no he. But remember that in Hebrew there is no definite article right now. It's understood. So it would be a house. It's understood. So into a house. La distinción aquí es que de él o la, como la casa, okay. La distinción aquí es que entre en una casa. Una casa.
Una, G, ¿verdad? G.
Sí. G es la casa.
Una casa.
G es la casa.
Ah, G.
Ja bayit, la casa.
La casa. Okay.
So, en hebreo G, el principio de una palabra es el o la. Okay?
Hola. Ok.
No sé cómo decir un artículo definido, ¿cómo se dice? El o la.
El o la, sí.
Esta es un artículo indefinido.
Indefinido.
Sí, pero en hebreo no es escribido. No hay letra o palabra por indefinido. ¿Ok? Pues esta es porque damos como esa. Entendemos que es aquí en español o en inglés, pero no es en hebreo.
Ah, ok.
¿Ok? Pues this is going to throw our prepositions off, but we're not going to talk about that tonight. I'm just going to throw that out there, what you do with the definite article versus the indefinite article. Okay, so let's see where we want to go. Let's do another one. Okay, so that's our work. My letters are shrinking as I go along. So what do you got? Very good. So say berit. Or we would say real fast, brit. Okay, berit. Okay, so give it to me.
The beat with the
Sheva.
and the reach. I connected to the ears at the top.
Okay, so berit. Berit. Everyone say berit. Berit. As in Ashkenaz, this is called a okay, so what is brit then? Or bris? Good. Who'd you hear from, Josh?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So brit means covenant. Specifically, so if you're invited to a bris or you're invited to a brit, you're invited to. Very good. Whoa.
No, like I didn't get it from Kelly. And I didn't get it from you.
You're brave. All right, so God tells Abraham, Hashem tells Abraham to do this for a covenant. So how would you say for a covenant? For a brit. That he is to circumcise himself for a covenant. Very good. So what would I put here?
The lamed.
Lamed. Now, the bait already has the Sheva. Remember that it should take a Sheva. But the bait already has the Sheva here.
Turns it into the V.
Huh?
Turns it into the V.
No, because there's no other dagesh here. But the bait already has the Sheva right here. So what am I going to do? Because the lamed as a prefix is supposed to take the Sheva. So now what? It's going to take the kiruk, the I sound. Livrit. So if the first letter, if the first consonant has the Sheva, then the prefix is going to take the kiruk, the I, the E sound, the li. So this will stay long, this will stay short, this will stay long, this will cut off, and this all stays the same. Livrit. So our example would have it this way, the example that. So these are, here's your rule. If I take this, that's this right here, right? Correct? This equals this. Everybody with me? This equals this. This is your formula. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So to put it the way we have it here, lamed plus bet is going to equal lamed bet. Okay, does that make sense with everybody? So the chiruk will come before the shiva in these cases. All right?
This one is not me again. I'm going to do something.
All right, we're going to stop there. And trib life in 5 minutes.